in case you guys have been living underneath the rock and didn't know, Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest's anime is officially confirmed for 2024. Yes, Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest's anime is officially confirmed for 2024, and the reason why I'm saying that some of you guys might have been living like the rock is because this news has been confirmed for over 2 months now. Even I'm late when it comes to covering this news, but now that I'm back to YouTube, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a like for Fairy Tail content because I'm back to uploading daily videos, and I want to do a whole bunch of different Fairy Tail videos. I just gotta get all these videos out because I've been saving up, I've been storing up on ideas. And if you're a manga reader, make sure you guys stick around to the end of the video because I want to know you guys' thought on the current state of the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest manga. And even if you're anime only, make sure you guys leave a comment on what you're most excited for when it comes to the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest anime and the Fairy Tail story as a whole, now that Fairy Tail is coming back in anime form. But we gotta discuss the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest anime because a lot of news and a lot of stuff that we had to discuss concerning the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest anime, like if it's going to be seasonal or if it is going to be a long-running anime. Now, in the past, I did say that I did want this anime to be long-running just so we could get the old school Fairy Tail vibes. OG Fairy Tail fans know that the original Fairy Tail animes, they used to be like 100 episode long, 60 episodes long, and I wanted that same feeling that we got back in the day. But after further thinking it over, me personally, I think it would be a great thing if Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest does come back seasonal, because if Fairy Tail comes back as a seasonal anime, meaning it's going to have like 12 episodes or 24 episodes, this would be perfect for the pacing of each arc, because each arc, they're not really long arcs. They've all been around 20-25 chapters or so, with some of them being like 30 chapters long. And we already know that if that does try to get stretched out to a 24 episode series or even like a 60 episode series, the pacing could get unbearable and it might end up affecting the story of the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest anime. So since we do have about 5 or 6 current arcs and each of them have been around 20 to 30 chapters, me personally, I think it would be a great thing if they all are 12 episodes each, and then we could still get Fairy Tail around the whole year 2024. Like if it comes out in the beginning of 2024, like around the winter, then we could get one for the winter season, possibly a summer season, fall season, if they all are 12 episodes each, and the pacing will be perfect for each plot. We wouldn't have to worry about the pacing being too slow or too fast if they all are 12 episodes each. So I'm hoping that Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest does come back with 12 episodes each for every single arc, and that way not only will the pacing be great, but the animation will be flawless for each and every single one of the arcs. So me personally, I really do hope that Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest will end up being a seasonal anime rather than being a long-running anime, since there are only 140 chapters out. And since the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest anime is coming out in 2024, does this mean that the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest manga will be ending in 2025? Because we know that Hiro Mashima doesn't like whenever the anime and the manga get too close to each other. We saw what happened when the final arc of Fairy Tail was going on in the manga, and then the final arc of Fairy Tail began airing in the anime. This ended up leading to the final arc getting rushed in many different ways, like when Natsu went up against Zera, that fight was rushed, and even Natsu and the Dragon Slayers versus Acnologia, that fight ended up getting rushed too, and that led to one of the worst moments in all of entertainment history. Seeing Acnologia getting shafted like that was just completely wrong, and even to this day, Hiro Mashima knows that he did Acnologia dirty, because even in his new manga Dead Rock, he's still bringing up Acnologia, he's showing Acnologia, he's still drawing him. So Hiro Mashima himself, he knows that he messed up with Acnologia. He can redeem himself if he brings him back in Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest in Beta Heaven, but that's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. But I hope that this pacing doesn't end up ruining the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest manga, since the anime is coming out in 2024. And me personally, I don't think that this means that the manga will end in 2025 if we end up getting a seasonal anime with only 12 episodes for each arc. Me personally, I think that'll be the best thing to do, and Hiro Mashima, he won't have to worry about the anime getting too close to the manga if they do end up being only 12 episodes per season. So this is why I'm posing the question, will the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest manga end up ending because the anime is coming out? Me personally, I don't think it's going to do that, because I do think that Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest will end up being seasonal, but it is a possibility that Hiro Mashima, he might want to wrap up the manga so he won't have to worry about the anime touching on the manga's toes or getting too close, just in case they do want to make it a long running series. And he might end it so he won't have to worry about pacing issues at all, because let's be honest, each episode of Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest, they can cover a good amount of chapters in the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest manga, so this could lead to the anime only being around 50 episodes or so if the manga does continue going at the pace it's been going on, because spoiler alert, it's been pretty linear, and I'm going to discuss that later on in the video. But if Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest does end up being a long-running anime, this could force the manga to end early, just so that the pacing for both the anime and the manga doesn't end up getting messed up, and I wouldn't want that to happen. I hope that Hiro Mashima and Atsuo Uda don't rush the manga just because the anime is coming out, and I hope that they actually take their time with the story of Fairy Tail. And speaking of the story of Fairy Tail, does this mean that Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest will have anime canon in it? Because we saw the best anime canon of all time with Acnologia's past being revealed, so Hiro Mashima might just do the same thing with Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest, and this could actually help both the anime and the manga, because if Hiro Mashima does add anime canon, this could give the manga more time to build up its own content, and it won't really have to worry about the anime catching up to it. And at the same time, this could add in more episodes and more hype for the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest anime, because if there is content that not even us manga readers know about that's in the anime and it's going to be 100% canon, man oh man, this is going to give everybody a reason to watch the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest anime. And plus, Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest has a lot of content that they can do with anime canon. Like, yo, if Hiro Mashima doesn't add anime canon to the 100 Year Quest anime, this will be one of the biggest missed opportunities in entertainment history. Like, yo, we saw what he did with Acnologia's past, so just imagine if he does the same thing with the 6 dragon gods and he gives us their past in the anime. Man oh man, that would instantly make the 100 Year Quest anime better than the manga if we get to see the past of Mercuphobia, or even seeing Ignia and Dogramag, the Earth Dragon God, how they became best friends, what was their life like when they did run away from Acnologia. There's just so much stuff that can be covered either later on down in the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest manga, or it can be used as anime canon. So I do hope that the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest anime, it does end up adding anime canon, because yo, there's so much content that Hiro Mashima can make that will be added to the anime, and it'll also give us manga readers huge incentive to watch the anime and not just read the manga only. But how are you manga readers feeling about Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest right now? Because I gotta be honest with you guys, Chief, I'm still enjoying and I'm still anticipating every single chapter that's coming out, but right now I just feel like that the story has been way too linear and it's starting to become a little bit more predictable, because we've been seeing that every single arc, they've always been going to the new location of the Dragon God. They've been sealing them up with relative ease. I mean, of course there is a sense of danger, but for the most part, they've been getting it done in like 20 or so chapters. They run into a group of side antagonists and they end up either defeating them or befriending them, and then they end up taking out the Dragon Gods altogether. And it's starting to feel a little bit repetitive with how they're defeating each Dragon God to sealing them away. Like with the original story of Fairy Tail, it was crazy because we didn't know what to expect with any arc. We didn't know if Zeref or Acnologia was going to be the final villain, and Zeref and Acnologia, they were shown in earlier arcs just how much of a threat they were. We saw how overpowered they were, and it really did make make us seem like, okay, the heroes might end up losing to Zareth, Logia, or even END when END was just introduced. So unlike how the original series of Fairy Tail had just this unpredictable element when it came to the ending, Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest kind of seems predictable and linear compared to the original Fairy Tail story. So I hope that Hiro Mashima, Atsuo Uda end up spicing it up and they end up adding some level of unpredictability to the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest ending, because yo, I don't know about you guys, but I'm still excited for Fairy Tail Next Generation, and I hope that we get to see Fairy Tail Next Generation with a lit plot, because Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest, it has so much potential to be a great sequel, not only to the original Fairy Tail story, but it also has a chance to set up Fairy Tail Next Generation for an amazing plot line if Hiro Mashima does plan it out, just like how he planned out the original Fairy Tail series. So I hope that the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest manga doesn't end with them just defeating Ignia and everything goes back to normal. No. Give us some level of tragedy, make Ignia or the Dragon Gods win, restart the Age of the Dragons like how Future Sting wanted to do. I don't know. I think that Hiro Mashima just needs to add in some level of unpredictability to the ending of the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest story, and even to the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest story as a whole. Like, yo, what if they don't end up defeating Vernice, the Gold Dragon God, and she or he ends up becoming a brand new antagonist for Fairy Tail Next Generation? You never know, but I really do hope that Hiro Mashima, Atsuo Uda, they have something huge planned for the ending of Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest, because I'm not saying that he should go off and kill off all the Team Nazi. No. But at least give us something that we wouldn't expect, because right now it's looking like we're going to get Natsu versus Ignio's son for the final fight, and it's looking like that Natsu, he will be able to defeat him just because, you know, it's been going by Fairy Tail logic. So hopefully Hiro Mashima and Atsuo Uda have something big planned for the ending of Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest, especially since it might be coming up now that we know that the anime has been confirmed for 2024. But overall, what do you guys' thoughts on the new Fairy Tail anime that's going to be coming out? Do you guys think that's going to be great? Do you guys think it's going to be good? Are you excited for it? I want to know everything, and let me know what are your thoughts on the current Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest manga. If you guys are the manga readers, I will be checking out every single comment on this video and where I will be replying to them. But that's basically it for this little video. Comment what you guys see down below. Subscribe if you have it. Remember that Jesus died for all of our sins. Have a blessed day. Peace out.